January last year, I wrote ASCPi. On November, I wrote PTE. On January this year, I lost my job. But then I got a new job on February and I resumed. And seriously, with everything that has happened over the past 1 year, I've seriously begun to ask myself a question. Should Australia be my next career move? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Michelle, and on this channel I usually talk about medical laboratory science, ASCPi, career goals, and just navigating your life altogether as a young medical practitioner. So this time around, I feel like this video is kind of like a new phase for myself and also for this channel in general. So if you've watched my last video, you already know that I spoke about how I lost my previous job but eventually ended up getting a new one. And honestly, with everything that has happened, it just made me think about my career and my future more intensively, because I feel like when life puts you in uncomfortable situations, you begin to ask yourself much more serious questions like, what kind of life do I want for myself? What opportunities do I want for myself? What type of career goal, or what does career growth look like to me on a very long term? And after writing the ASCPi, the PTE, and all of this, just everything that has happened within the past 1 year, or in the past 1 year, I just began to think like, relocating it's not a maybe someday type of thing. It's here. It's something that I can actually do. And to be honest, I still stand by what I said in my previous video. I seriously feel ASCPi is what it's, and I think that people who really want to write the exam, if it is something they genuinely want to do, then they should give it a shot, because ASCPi was never just about one country to me. And I also mentioned it in that video. I said you shouldn't write ASCPi just because you want to use it as a quick card to travel. You should use it because you want it to serve as a competitive edge for you. You should use it because you want to, grow professionally. Even as a medical laboratory scientist, you want to broaden your knowledge, things that areas that you didn't even know about. I'm sure those that have sat for that exam and have passed it can attest to what I'm saying. That most of the areas where we were just doing it on bench, now we have, when we do it, we know why we are doing it, we know what we are doing, and that can only be gotten when you actually write those exams. And ASCPi, if there's anything it has even done for me, is that it has built my confidence professionally, because now I know that I am a histopathology major, but that doesn't limit me anymore, because I feel like, oh, I wrote ASPI, so I definitely know what the chemical pathologists are doing. I know what the blood bank people are doing. I know what hematology is doing. I know what immunology is doing. Like, I feel so proud of myself when I find myself in a competitive environment, because this new place I'm working, we get to do we have a long list of tests that we do, and trust me, nothing in those tests surprised me, because these are things that I have come across one way or the other while preparing for this exam. So this exam has really broadened my knowledge, and I'm so proud of myself that I was able to read for the exam, I was able to sit for the exam, I was able to pass the exam, I hold the license, like, it's there, and it's something that I'm proud of. So ASPI was never just about relocating to the US for me. It was more than that. So if you genuinely want to sit for that exam, not solely for the purpose of JAPA, but also for the purpose of broadening your knowledge, getting to know new things, know more things, get in depth on the things that you are doing on the bench, then I highly recommend that you should still stick to that. And I still stand on it, that ASCPi is still a must-have, and it's something that every medical laboratory scientist should sit for. But of recent, I have started making more research on the Australian pathway. I've been doing that for some time now, and that is where my head is at as of this moment. And I just felt like I should bring it out here and let you guys know, so that you guys can also be part of my journey. It shouldn't be something that I just come out of the bloody, hello guys, I'm in Australia, but let it be something that you guys followed me on my journey when I started submitting my documents, what documents I actually submitted and all of that. Yes, so that's the purpose of this video. So I know a lot of you will be like, why Australia? And a lot of people have a lot of things to say about Australia. People are like, oh, the pool is pool. There are a lot of people that have been in the pool since 1954. People, even the pool you want to join now, people have been in that pool since 1550. But there are people that just joined that pool, that got picked and that moved and are still moving. In fact, as me and you, we are talking, and as you are watching this video, the people are getting ready to go. So it's everywhere that people are in the pool. So if you are taking it that, oh, people are in the pool, people have been in the pool, that's the main reason why you would not make that move. Think twice. That's just what I feel. I feel like the oil on people's head is different. So the oil on my head is much more different than all those people. And you will ask why Australia. I'm choosing Australia not because Australia is a perfect country. A lot of people think, okay, maybe New Zealand is better than Australia, but that is a discussion for another day. But today we'll be talking about why I'm choosing Australia. It's not because it's a perfect country, but from my findings and from what I have researched, I've seen that they have different pathways and they seem to be in need of, medical professionals, and there seems to be room for growth and, professional progression or improvements. So even though the whole process looks kind of very tedious and it looks like something that you'll be like, what's going on? I mean, I heard about AIMS, which is part of the assessments for international medical laboratory scientists, and then they also mentioned something about the different documentations, the timelines, the visas, a whole lot. And I think one thing people don't talk about is how emotionally draining, not only emotionally, how emotionally and psychologically draining this whole process is. I mean, navigating what pathway you want to follow. Am I going to, okay, I've written this one now, you've written this one, somebody just, something just happens and then that pathway is blocked, and then you have to start considering another pathway, and then you have like 3 other pathways that friends and families are, putting to you. There's a new Canadian pathway that I'm hearing of. I've forgotten what it's called, but that one is also there. And then there's a New Zealand pathway. There is the, oh gosh, there's a whole lot of them. Nobody talks about how psychologically and emotionally draining it is to finally come to a conclusion on what particular pathway you have to follow. Nobody talks about it. I mean, I'm grateful that I wrote ASCPi. I'm grateful that I passed. I'm grateful that I passed my PTE. I'm grateful that despite being put out of one job, I got another job almost immediately. I mean, how many times do you see that happen? But I'm also caught up with like financial stability. I'm also caught up with, what pathway do I want to follow? I'm also caught up with like what kind of opportunities and what do I actually want for myself, in the long term. What do I actually want to do? There's something I read when I was preparing for PTE exam. I don't know if it was on APUNI or was it Alpha PTE. It was like when someone walks into a store and the person has a variety of whatever he or she came into the store to buy, he or she would now be like, I can't even find what I want. Then the moment it is limited, the person is able to actually pick what he or she wants. I don't know if that makes sense. Just think about that. That is exactly what is going on in this whole pathway stuff. There are a lot of pathways, and some people are confused on which one they actually want to settle. Are they here? Are they here? Are they here? Or are they here? They just want to be everywhere. You just have to narrow your head to one place and pick one thing and follow through with it. Honestly, that's just what I feel. So right now I'm just gathering my documents. Every single document I need, I'm putting it into folders, trying to create folders for them so that when I'm ready to fully apply, I can just dig into those folders and post them or upload them when needed. And that's just where I am currently, and I feel like I want to document this particular journey in real time on my channel. I don't want my channel to be just about ASCP. I know a lot of people have been telling me, try and dig into something else. So right now, I want this journey to just not be solely for ASCP. So I don't have everything figured out yet, but let's say this is just the beginning of my journey as a medical laboratory scientist aiming to work in Australia. If you're interested in ASCPi, PTE, healthcare, migration, lifestyle updates, just anything at all, then do subscribe, because I think this channel is heading on into a totally new phase. Please don't forget to share my video to your friends, family, and I will see you in my next video.